Gertrude Avagali, and I'm from Ghana. So my talk today is on building a thriving tech ecosystem, the role of PyLadies in fostering growth and inclusion. Okay, so we can skip this part because she's already introduced me. But I'll talk a little about my PyLadies journey. So I come from a non-conventional tech background. I transitioned from development planning into the tech space back in 2020 when COVID was all over the place. And I got to meet really amazing people through community. So I met Abigail, who I'll play a video on like later on. And PyLadies was an opening door for me. It gave me the opportunity to meet incredible people from different parts of the country, and this also helped me meet people across the globe. So what inspired this talk is because I'm evidence of community, how community can go a long way to support people, how you and I can ensure that we reduce the divide in the tech space and ensure that more people, more women are given the opportunity to get started in tech. So what you should expect, understanding the challenges, the PyLadies module, and then scaling the impact as well as a call to action. Okay, so based on research, the tech is like growing globally, but not everyone can access it. The UN's Broadband Commission for Sustainable Development estimates that nearly 3.6 billion people remain totally unconnected to the internet by any measure. This means that there are around 4.1 billion people online. That's about 53.6% of the global population. That means we have a little over half the global population having access to the internet. This basically means that there are so many people out there who do not have access to the internet, and this translates into so many barriers, some including lack of access to mentorship, role modules, and opportunities. You and I are able to get access to the internet. How did I hear about PythonAsia? It was because I had access to the internet. So you can imagine the number of people out there who do not have access to these opportunities because they are unable to access the internet, and so they don't know these opportunities even exist. So many of us also go through imposter syndrome, whereby we feel we are not enough. We feel like, I don't know enough to be able to share my knowledge. I don't have the required enough skills to be able to apply for that job. These are barriers that so many people are facing, and how do we as a community contribute to ensuring that this is reduced, if not completely eliminated? Another barrier is financial, geographical, and cultural constraints, whereby people cannot even afford the cost of data bundles. People cannot afford to travel halfway across the globe to be able to meet amazing people like yourselves. The role of community and mentorship, why peer support matters. Since it's going to be very difficult for individuals to pay for that trip, buy internet bundles, it's our place, since we have the opportunity to be able to pick one person out there, someone in our community who we feel we can help, also give them that stage, help them understand what it takes to get into the tech space, or how they can figure out starting out their careers in the tech space. How mentorship can transform careers. So when we come together as a community, so there's this proverb from back home, whereby we have this locally made brooms, whereby it's a number of broomsticks that is tied and made into a bundle. Once you pick just one broomstick, it's very easy to break it. But once you pick the whole bundle of broom, it's difficult to break. This just simply means that there's strength in unity. So if we come together as a community and we decide to pick people, mentor them together, it would help bridge the gap. So what is PyLadies? I know most of us know what PyLadies is, but just for those who don't know. So PyLadies is a community that has the goal of ensuring that more people have access to mentorship, workshops, Basically, career trajectory. So their mission is, the Pi Ladies' mission is to promote, educate, and advance a diverse Python community through outreach, education, conferences, events, and social gatherings. Pi Ladies also aims to provide a friendly support network for women and a bridge to the larger Python world. So Pi Ladies, for people, I'm not sure how many of you know, but Pi Ladies usually supports people when it comes to going for conferences as well. If you are not able to afford, they're able to support you to attend conferences, just to meet new people, create networks that you can take back home to grow the individual chapters across the globe. So Pi Ladies was founded in April of 2011 in Los Angeles, California. And I mentioned the core activities basically include workshops, events to just empower women in the community. Currently, the global reach is about 249 chapters across 64 countries. This spans across 6 continents, and then the membership count is currently 36,000 plus members worldwide. And fortunately, my homeland, Ghana, has a country-level chapter. The Pi Ladies module, basically, as I explained, what it does is it creates a community where we can empower each other. It's difficult when people are trying to figure out where to start, who to even reach out to. But once there's a community where they know that I know this person who belongs to this community, where I can join, I can get access to free resources that can help give me a sense of direction. So for people who don't come from conventional tech backgrounds, you can understand how it's difficult trying to figure out where to start from. You don't even know where to find, like people say there's resources on the internet, yes, but there's so much resource that it's overwhelming. Sometimes it just helps when you know someone who also is in the space and can help you figure out where to start from. Where do I even find these resources? How do I narrow down the resource to fit what I'm trying to achieve? And so having a community where we can empower people, we can enable people to switch careers very easily, people to find the required resources, people to grow their careers. And a lot of women can relate with the fact that it's sometimes very difficult even trying to get a promotion in the space because you are competing with other people, like other genders as well. And so just having people you can speak to, people who can relate with what you're going through, goes a long way to help. So Pi Ladies usually would have meetups, and we have technical talks, trainings that basically give exposure to people who are ladies or underrepresented people in the space. It helps with networking and visibility for women in Python as well, because it gives you a platform where you can your voice can be heard. You can share your ideas. You can get opinions from, maybe you are trying to have a talk. You're able to share your ideas, get feedback, and then basically helps you improve. Also, because it's community-led, you feel like you belong to the bigger picture where you're able to contribute. So these are 2 success stories I would share. There are 2 videos of Pi Ladies who have grown, taken the community, the local country level communities along, and have made it to the global Pi Ladies stage. Okay, so basically adopting the module locally. A lot of people don't know about Pi Ladies, even people in the Python community. Some people don't know about Pi Ladies. They just know about the bigger Python community. And so I entreat all of us to, if you do not have a local chapter, please go ahead and create one, because it takes you and I to start something new that will grow into the next big thing. It's ideally we should also partner with schools, because it makes sense if we start grooming people from the local level, from the very basic level, whereby high schools, you have conversations with them, let them know this is possible. I didn't know I could be in the tech space when I was in high school, because I didn't know it was possible. it was after tertiary that I realized this was a possibility and this was something that I would give me career fulfillment. As individuals, we can, as I mentioned, either you start a local chapter in your city. It doesn't have to just be the country level, right? In your city, maybe there's no chapter there. You can start a city chapter so that you can encourage people in your city to join and give them the opportunity to also learn and share the word about the PyLadies community. As well, it would be nice if we could all become mentors. I mean, I know it's very difficult because we really have full-time jobs, but it helps when you're able to just take one or two people under your wing. I always say that mentorship is a two-way street. You take and you give. People who are looking to be mentored, you need to put in the work so that it makes it easy for whoever is mentoring you. And we who are going to be mentors, I mean, it's not easy, but just take it that this is yourself maybe a few years back, where if you had that same opportunity, it would have opened doors for you. It would have probably sped up your career progression. So let's all try and become mentors, if not one or two people just under our wings, to be able to ensure that we spread the gospel about the tech space. As well, let's advocate for inclusive hiring and speaker lineups. So a lot of the times, you would realize that when you check the speaker lineup, you would find one or two women there, but as I said, it takes you and I. A lot of people have, I inclusive, go through like doubting yourself, asking questions, imposter syndrome, whereby, am I even enough? Do I know enough to be able to share, right? And so if we're able to advocate for inclusive hiring, advocate for inclusive speaker lineups, I feel it would put a lot of us out there and allow people to see what they can become just because you have decided to help out. And as well, support infrastructure. I mean, it doesn't have to be big. You can help with funding, even venues like what we have here, as well as visibility. You see a lady who is doing something great, it doesn't take, on LinkedIn, it doesn't take a long time. Just reshare whatever she's doing just to put her out there and give her the visibility she needs. So the call for action today is let's either join the PyLadies, not either, let's all join the PyLadies community in Asia, and as well, let's support the PyLadies chapters. And if it's possible, let's try to create local chapters in our various cities as well. And today, I entreat all of us here, let's become mentors. I mean, I know, as I said earlier, it's sometimes very tedious because you have to add this to your normal 9 to 5, but take it that you are helping yourself 5 years ago, 3 years ago. And it would go a long way because sometimes there's just some sort of pride in seeing people that you've mentored in the next level, whereby they're able to say, oh, this person helped me get there. They might not be able to pay you back, but just that's source of fulfillment whereby you know that you contributed to someone's journey goes a long way. And let's create inclusive spaces in our various tech communities. Thank you. Salamat po. All right, so I'll quickly play the videos of the, the two PyLadies I spoke about.
Hi there. My name is Abigail Misrenya Midogbe, and I'm an open source researcher and a part of PyLadies Ghana. So over the years, PyLadies Ghana has been at the forefront of bringing more women into the Python software community. And the way that we have done that is through organizing meetups, boot camps, and all that are focused on specific areas such as cybersecurity, data science, web development, and all. And part of the reasons why I love this community is how we are able to come together, share resources, share opportunities, and essentially help other people grow within their tech careers. So if you're just starting out in tech, I encourage you to join a Pi Ladies community that is within your local community or even Pi Ladies Global. The opportunities are endless. I hope you find this insightful and I hope that you enjoy the conference as well. Thank you.
Then,
Hi, my name's Jessica, and I'm a Pi Lady based
Monster
in
Math
Berlin,
presents
Germany. I'm also
Addition
a
Below 10. Okay, class, let's begin.
so sorry.
senior machine learning engineer at Koja, the search engine for Bear. Hi, my name's Jessica, and I'm a Pi Lady based in Berlin, Germany. I'm also a senior machine learning engineer at Koja, the search engine for Bear Planet. I first found PyLadies when I was transitioning into tech about 7 years ago, and I was looking for a space where I would feel supported and comfortable to learn, but also be surrounded by role models and folks that looked a little bit more like myself. I think it's really important that we have these spaces, not just PyLadies, but any space dedicated to underrepresented or marginalized folks from our community, because it really sends the message that they're welcome and that there are opportunities there for us. If you're new in the Python community, I really encourage you to get involved. Even if you have a non-traditional background like myself, or you haven't learned Python yet, there's so many ways to contribute and transferable skills that you can bring with you that will not only help you on your journey, but also benefit us as a community. I was really delighted to be awarded the Outstanding PyLadies Award this year at PyCon US alongside 2 other amazing women. And I'd just like to take the opportunity to say thanks again to my chapter in Berlin, because this is really testament also to all of your work too. So thank you to all of those who have supported me, and thank you everyone for joining and supporting the conference.
All right, thank you very much. And yeah, remember to start a local chapter in your city, support the Pi Ladies country level, and remember that you can be a mentor to someone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Judy, for that wonderful and an empowering talk about PyLadies and the community. Thank you for reminding us to break barriers and systematic bias by coming together as a community. The floor is now open for questions. Feel free to ask our speaker anything about Python, career, or the community. We have mics set up on the hallway, so anyone who wants to ask our speaker a question, feel free to stand up and go ahead and ask. So in the meantime, there you go. Please take the time.
Hi. Hi. Just want to ask, because I've been also asking other, well, not Pi ladies, but other people from other countries, what kind of systemic barriers that women face that are unique or relatively unique in your region or in your culture. So in Ghana, what are those barriers that women face from pursuing a career in tech?
Okay, thank you. I'm not too sure if they are very unique, but one of the things I feel it might be, sorry, might just be related to, or people in the African context can understand, is growing up myself. I had this thing for computers. I just enjoyed fidgeting around, but it was considered as laziness, right? I mean, you have to be in the kitchen, you need to help out with cooking. And so I actually also thought it was laziness and decided to just let it go. And this is something I'm not sure if other like parts of the world experience it, but it feels like it's okay if other genders are interested in technology, but it's not okay if a female is interested in technology, because then it seems like you don't want to contribute to the work in the household. That's why you are trying to figure out stuff on the computer. And so these are things that people hardly, and we are raised in a way that you are not allowed to really speak about things like this. it's considered as bringing shame, right? And so a lot of people do not speak about it. But I feel that is changing, right? Because people, it wasn't easy to find people who look like me doing what I do today. And so I couldn't relate. It's easier when you can see someone, right? And tell that this is who I want to become. This is where I want to go to. But back then, it wasn't very easy to find women in this space, and so it was difficult to like find people to talk to, find people to bounce ideas off. But I feel that is changing. We still have a long way to go, but we have made significant progress whereby I can easily go on LinkedIn and find people who look like me, people who are actually doing things, very same things I'm doing as well. So this is one of the many barriers that I feel is unique to the African context. Thank you.
Thank you for that answer. Anyone else who wants to ask our speaker questions?
Hi, thank you. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, thank you so much for your talk. And I honestly just found out about Pi Ladies today. So it really helped me to understand what we have here, what more we have for, especially within the community for Pi Ladies. And given that you mentioned earlier regarding, let's say, self-doubt, imposter syndrome. And I feel like a lot of us have gone through that, thinking that whether your skills are good enough or if it's going to be enough to have a specific role, to be in that role, or to even mentor someone. I want to understand, or probably if you could suggest, within that role, if you do have like such a big imposter syndrome and you do want to mentor other people, how do you reassure yourself and others in turn to clarify that the skills you have, the knowledge you have is enough for the environment that you are currently at?
Okay. So I believe that imposter syndrome is in our heads, right? A lot of us have, trust me, people around you believe you are amazing. They believe you are phenomenal. The amount of knowledge you have, right, is something that people like look forward to interacting with you because of. And so you first need to convince yourself. You would not know it all, but you know enough. And you need to understand that you are enough, right? There's always room for growth. That doesn't mean you don't know. There's room for growth. That doesn't mean that you are not in the right space or you are not good enough to be in that space. So, first off, you need to convince yourself that I am not where I want to be, does not mean that I don't have the required knowledge. A lot of the time, so statistics show that when a job ad is placed out there, women are usually waiting to have 100% of the requirements before we put in application, but that doesn't apply to the men. And so put yourself out there. I feel like speaking a lot about how you feel within communities also help because you realize that everybody feels like an imposter. So how do I get to that point where I do not feel like an imposter? I don't think it's possible, like completely, because you'd always feel like I need to learn more, which is good, right? So all you have to do is believe in yourself. Trust that you have the required knowledge at the point you are, just that you need more. And we all always need more knowledge. If not, I mean, what are we doing here? So believe in yourself. That's first of all. Constantly tell yourself you are enough. Small wins also go a long way. It might be giving that talk. It might be attending that meetup. Sometimes even writing articles, sharing, making a LinkedIn post. Those are the small wins that go a long way to help convince yourself that you are enough and you are doing enough. So everybody is rooting for you, but you need to root for yourself more. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much for your response, and I believe that's true as well. But thank you for the confirmation reassurance that you have provided.
Thank you.